Hi you guys, how are you all doing? All right, so we are going to continue on our readings. If you guys have been following along, you'll know that we just did Cancer, and we are moving on to Leo. But we're going to change the vibe a little bit here. We're going to move back into doing the nakshatras. So instead of reading for the 12 signs, we're going to be reading for the 28 nakshatras or lunar mansions. So you're going to want to look up your sidereal chart and get all of the placements for the lunar mansions. The lunar mansions are different. The lunar mansions hit different. There is not as much information about them, but there's still a lot to be learned about them. This is advanced astrological wheel work, right? When we're doing readings, if you're watching all the signs readings, if you're watching, all signs, okay, this is the next wheel, right? So this is past Tyler's tarot. This is past anything I've ever seen. But me as a real life embodiment of a deity, I work the wheel. It's my wheel. It's all wheels. But it's not just the 12 signs. That's preschool. So the next one that we would go to would be, for me, is the nakshatras. And the way I've kind of seen the lunar mansions or the nakshatras is a different kind of orbit, in my opinion. I think that the nakshatras are not so much tied to the zodiac signs because it's looking at the lunar mansions. So you're going to really want to look at your north and south nodes of the moon, as well as your ascendant nakshatra and your moon nakshatra. Okay, so this is the way I see it in my mind when I read about it and learn about it. I see it as the moon's orbit around the earth, right? The 12 zodiac signs are the orbit around the sun, but the lunar mansions are the moon. The moon orbits the earth. The moon does not orbit the sun. So we're going to start here with Magha nakshatra. This is the 10th lunar mansion, and it is past point of Gandanta. Gandanta is going to be whenever we move from a water sign to a fire sign. It is the most difficult point of alchemy in the astrological wheels. This is a level 2 Gandanta, or the first Gandanta we meet within the year. The second Gandanta is Scorpio to Sagittarius, when we meet Jesta in Scorpio, and it ends. And then we meet, what's that one called? Mula. And then we go from Magha, then we go from Ravarti at the end of Pisces and to Aries, Ashwini. So the first nakshatra that we start with always is ruled by Ketu. It's ruled by the south node of the moon. And what do we know about the south node of the moon? The south node of the moon is going to rule karma, the things we've already inherited in this lifetime. So that's going to be like a bowl or a pot, right? It's an upright cup, right? It's the you. It is where we go to collect things, meaning that there are power in the Ketu ruled nakshatras. There's power, inherited power. There's inherited power here. So for me, in Magha, I have my north node, meaning that not only do I have inherited power, but I also have the ability to pour that power out onto the people, onto Aquarius, generally, technically. So I do have a couple articles out. We're also going to be pulling up the astrological wheel. That's why I'm just doing voiceovers. You guys don't need to see my face. I'll tell you the cards we pull. We're going to do some reading as well. This might be a long video. So save it to your watch now, save it to a playlist, come back and watch it. It's important. It's important. It is very important. This information, if you're doing astrological work, it's important that you find pages like me. Be grateful that you found a page like me because I study a lot. I've been studying a lot nonstop for a very long time. And I have knowledge that, and a way of breaking it down that not very many people have the mental capacity to do. So hit the subscribe button and you're welcome. Let's go. So we're going to go back and we're going to look at the characteristics of Magha. So this is the alpha star, the brightest star in the constellation of Leo. It rules 0 degrees to 1320 of Leo. It is known as Regulus or the Little King. The symbols is a house, the king's throne, and a very special chair. The secondary symbols would be a red flame or a basilic. What is that? Let me look this up. I believe that's like it's a fearsome reptilian creature with fatal stare and breath. It is said to be king of serpents. Is a lizard, not a snake, and is a characteristic is its ability to run on water, earning it the nickname the Jesus lizard. Perfect. So, the divine rule of kings is represented here. The bureaucratic deep state has little pull here. True power is passed down, and the head of state is appointed. Lineage becomes important, and life comes down to who you know. Authority here knows no bounds. They are charged with the task of rising above the mass mentality and discover their own unique creativity. Family pride, loyalty, lineage, respect for tradition and ceremony are all important to them. They honor the giants upon whose shoulders we stand. They are usually alpha personalities with a need for attention and a gift for getting it, with a need for attention and a very profound gift for receiving that attention that they desire while maintaining their dignity. On one hand, they have this inner knowing of superiority, while on the other, they might be filled with self-doubt and must be corrected. Their sense of superiority can be founded on any legitimate or illegitimate reason: race, lineage, religion, neighborhood school, sports teams. In the world of the mind, anything can be used to serve a purpose. The various planets placed in Magha will also help lift a person up with whatever powers they have. Of course, one must honor those who lift them up, or they will quickly be taken down again. They do tend to obtain positions of elevated importance from which they can delegate authority. They like to have others serving under them. This often leads to them to work in large corporations or government departments where they can relate to the world as one to the masses. They can be happy in business as long as they are in a position of importance. They like to be part of organizations that have a long history, are well established, and follow some kind of tradition. They seek to bring prestige to their life and to their work, but without any boundaries to their ambition, they will never be satisfied. They typically work in a variety of odd jobs. They like to have an important sounding title. Titles tend to mean a lot to them, though they may not feel any obligation to live up to the titles or social expectations that often go. They can be suckers for a bit of flattery, and Magha men are easily seduced by women. They are likely to have an important spiritual outlook of life, and they will take on paternal roles regardless of their gender. They make good priests, professors, lawyers, judges, or even presidents. They like roles that offer tenure or other protections against being expelled. They may belong to well-established churches, communities, or private organizations that bring them prestige in life. They like to work with fire and light, and they may be involved. The sentence ended there. They are empowered to leave the body at will, and this could refer to astral travel, trance, fainting or losing consciousness, or even leaving the flesh body at death. It should be noted that standing up too quickly can sometimes lead to lightheadedness, or even someone to pass out. Magha can experience similar problems when getting elevated too quickly in their life. If they are not prepared for it, or do not honor the ones who raised them to their newfound status, they will fall again. The permissiveness of this nakshatra relates to Jupiter. In the subtitles way, Jupiter can also rule over the Prajapatis. The root of the word Magha relates with might, and the very, to be able. This nakshatra gives people the ability to do anything, no matter how outlandish. Qualities of Magha, we have Brahma. This nakshatra is ultimately a creative nakshatra, and it will bring things into the world, whether it be ideas, companies. Children, famous children, important children, strong children, powerful children. Whatever they create with power. Shudra, labor, farmers, artisans, craftsmen. This is the king who is a servant to his people, an actor who is a servant to his audience. It's the lesson that everyone has to serve somebody. In Magha, it could be their ancestors or lineage that theory serves. So if you have this nakshatra, who do you serve? What do you serve? Where is Magha in your chart? What house? Where do you have ultimate power? Health. You can be prone to heart problems, hypertension, possibly stomach ulcers, nosebleeds, allergies, cancers, skin problems, inflammatory illnesses, epilepsy, things affecting your nerves. Death by hanging, either suicide, murder, or the foggy place between the two. Depression, especially post-retirement. These people like to work. They're good at working. They have a knack for working. Regulus is the brightest of the 6 sickle shape of the stars, marking the forehead of the lion. This ridge itself is called the sickle, one for the 4 royal watchers. Regulus is the watcher of the north, with Archangel Raphael. And I always put Magha on my right hand, meaning I put Regulus in my south, meaning I rule over my own heart. There's power in my heart. There's power because Leo is my heart. These people can have a lot of fire or spark in their eyes. You might look into their eyes, they might have like brown eyes. And then at some point, they'll get fired up and you'll see this fire in their eyes. It's like, whoa, I never noticed you had such a fire in your eyes. Jesus Christ, if you look at the picture, like the Passion of the Christ, and you see his eyes, and when he was on the cross and he bowed his head down, and you can see that fire in his eyes. It's like a hazel color. We have Mars and Regulus. Johnny Depp has this placement. They can be known to gamble. They're gamblers. They like to gamble. They're good at gambling. Let's see, what's Mercury in Regulus? Mercury in Magha. J.K. Rowling wrote about magic in Harry Potter. Tom Robbins also wrote about the myth and magic associated with assorted oddball characters. Some people suggest that Neil Armstrong wrote a similar myth about going to the moon. Curiously, about 50 years of technological advancements, we have not been able to repeat this feat. D.H. Lawrence spent some time on the forbidden list for steamy romances. Madonna and Michael Jackson shared a similar kind of unique stardom at the age of bright lights and MTV. They both created whole fairy tale worlds with themselves at the center. They might have gestures of nobility, honorable, just, popular, generosity, abused by opponents, fame, gain through high position. I am Peter Pan. He represents youth, childhood, and never growing up, magic, flying. Magic is easy if you put your heart into it. The magic, the wonder, the mystery, and the innocence of a child's heart are the seeds of creativity that will heal the world. Being on stage is magic. There's nothing like it. You feel the energy of everyone who's out there. You feel it all over your body. When the lights hit you, it's all over. I swear it is. Michael Jackson. Let's look at Rahu and Magha. Ego thinks he's the king. Self-expression may not be authentic. Gambling. Horse races. Betting on anything. Betting on everyone. Take care of the outcasts, and they will raise you up to the throne. It is when I possess least that I have the fewest worries, and the Lord knows that. As far as I can tell, I am more afflicted when there is excess of anything than when there is a lack of it. George Bush Sr. has his Rahu here. Rumi has his Rahu here. Dr. Howard Eugene Watson, a Navy SEAL, has his Rahu here. Madame Helena Blavatsky has her Rahu here. She has a very interesting birth chart. She's very Leo-like. King Elizabeth I of England has her Rahu here. Joe Biden has his Rahu here. Harrison Ford has his. George Lopez. And it says at the end here, male prostitute 4, Manhattan 4. Alexander the Great had his K2 here. Interesting. Jimi Hendrix had his Rahu here. I just now saw that. I didn't miss that one. Princess Diana had her Rahu here. Interesting. Harry, Prince of Wales, has his Mercury here. Johnny Depp has his Mars there. Princess Diana had her Mars there. Little Peep had his Mars there. Very interesting. Ben Affleck. King Francis I of France had his Mars there. Ivanka Trump has her Mars there. Helena Blavatsky has her Mars there. Interesting. Okay, I will make sure to put this link into these descriptions. You can go to the channel, or you can go to Mike's Sleeping Dog and you can look at the information I just read from his website. I would obviously recommend his website if you're doing any nakshatra research. Very extensive. He also has a YouTube channel. You can check that out. I will post the link to the website in the description of the video. So let's get into cards now that we know a little bit more about Magha and what Magha is about. For you, we do have Mars currently retrograding. If we do like Viktakara, he does tropical Vedic astrology, meaning he keeps the nakshatras stationary, and as the precession of the equinoxes go, he moves the astrological wheel. So technically right now, this would put Magha at the end of Leo and the beginning of Virgo. But we don't need to think about that. Let's just do this. We're doing the beginning of Leo. Sidereally, tropically, this is the beginning of Virgo. What would you do if you had ultimate power? And in what area of your life would this ultimate power manifest? You don't have to have anything conjunct the star to use the power of the star. If you have something in that house, it makes it more easy to access because you have a point to draw it through, like a planet, that are all inside of us in some way or another. Now, when we have Rahu here, right? Rahu, the sun who. So you have to understand that Rahu in this nakshatra is hands down one of the most powerful placements you can have, because there is this ability to truly obtain all the power of the sun. Because this is where the sun exalts, right? To have something on Regulus means you're anointed. It's the star at the heart of the lion, or it's the star of anointing. I don't remember if I read that on... We have mighty, magnificent, the most important, and the most bountiful. But it's little. It's not big. It's little, right? When you are truly powerful, you don't need to make yourself the biggest person in the room. You don't need to make yourself gargantuan. Right? You don't need to tower over people. You're like a little tiny. You like it's a little thing, but it kicks. It has such a powerful punch. You're the little king. The little king. You're little. You're tiny. So let's do this. We're going to get into the cards now. How long has this been? It was kind of long reading already. 23 minutes. All right. So at 24 minutes exactly, I'm going to put a timestamp on the thing so I know when the reading starts for those of you that aren't interested in the star and are only interested in the reading. So how do we want to do this reading? What questions do we want to ask? What questions do we need to know? What are we trying to gain through this reading? In what way can we maximize our power? And what areas of life, in what areas of the zodiac wheel do they need power right now? What areas of life need our power? What areas of life need our assistance, need our attention, need our service? That's really what the king is about, right? People say, oh, I don't want to be a servant. That's what kings do. They serve. They serve. The servant leader. To think that a king gets weighted on hand and foot, that's not the case at all. Especially nowadays, now that like palaces and like the actual, it's not like a lineage thing. It can be a lineage thing. Let's take a look and see. Rahu's a very interesting star. It's the only star that I definitely can feel this energy of, what's the password? right? How do you get in, right? How are you getting into Regulus? How are you getting into Magha? Show me your credentials kind of energy. Show me your birthright to come into this nakshatra. Show it to me and then you can come in. How close are you to the star? Because when we're talking fixed stars, it's 1, 2, maybe 3 degree orb, right? Bronze, metal, or bronze, silver, or gold. So which one are you? How close to the star are you? I'm silver. I'm 2 degrees away. Rahu's 2 degrees away. 1 degree and a little bit extra. Meaning 1 degree is less than 0 degrees. And then once you hit that 1 degree, then you go to the silver to 2 degrees. And if you are anything more than 3 degrees, the conjunction's not valuable. Like it's not real. Now the nakshatra is 13 degrees long, but I'm talking about the true power of the star. You have to be, I'm silver. I'm not gold. I'm close. But I didn't get gold this time. I got silver. So like when you're at the Olympic Games, you know, are you a Simone Biles? How many fucking gold medals you got, bitch? I just got a silver. I don't know why I said that. She's a Pisces anyways. Gymnastics is cool. I like gymnastics. Anyways, let's do this. Okay. What do we need to know? Let me open up my little notebook here. Let's take a look and see. I want to know in which way, how are you perceiving the world? In which way are you viewing the world, right? So this would be Far East. But how is Regulus, how is Magha? How are they viewing the world? What is their perception of the world? Wrath. Mars. Perfect. Mars. You could be feeling like there's like a mediator right now for you. It's like maybe you're mad at someone. You could be mad at someone, or you could just be feeling like, I'm not ready to necessarily face you right now. We're going to need somebody to go between the two of us if you want to communicate. We need a middleman. If you want to talk to me, you're going to need to send somebody that is on my level to speak to me. And I will tell them what I want to tell you. But right now, I can't even talk to you. I will send someone to speak to you. So you could be receiving a message from like a middleman, or there could be somebody that is giving you a message from the in-between because they can't be bothered with your presence right now. Not in a rude way, just they're busy. They have other things to deal with. They don't want to look at you right now. They don't want you to look at them right now. So you get the in-between. We have the muse living in my dreams. This person thinks about you a lot, Leo. Sun in Pisces energy. 10. The card is 10. We have 2, 9, 10. Sun in Pisces. We have, so you could have a sun in the 12th house. All right. You could be digesting the energy of the sun right now. You're walking on the sunshine kind of energy. You could be noticing that your world is kind of red right now. You could be just like kind of seeing things red. You could be wearing red today. I'm wearing green right now. But you could be wearing red. Charging at life head first. You could find yourself really leaning into the phone right now. It's like your posture isn't straight up, but you're leaning in. It's like you're going head first into something. I was watching this Navy SEAL give a speech to, who was it? Actually wrote a list down of the things that he taught. He was giving a speech to the university. It was Admiral McRaven, a speech to the University of Texas. I believe it was UT in 2014. He gave this really good speech. But in that speech, he was talking about like an obstacle course that they go through. And it wasn't until like the record-breaking time in that of going through the obstacle course that the person that broke the time record of going through that obstacle course or that training course, they didn't beat the obstacle course until he decided to go down the rope head first. Instead of like hanging or dangling, no, he climbed on top of the rope and went head first down, and that's how he was able to break the record time of the obstacle course. So there's something about you taking a different perspective. So Leo, how are you starting your days? We have the lower and the higher self. Venus and Sagittarius with the throat chakra. There could be something that you need to speak to about someone, or you could be talking about waging deals, waging bets. There's something about the fifth house. Sagittarius is fifth from Leo. So we have Venus there. So you could be getting into you could be going on some really good dates. You could definitely be meeting someone. It's kind of casual. You're meeting someone in that sense of there's going to be a lot of communication. There could even be some sort of like something to do with the throat. We had Leo come out. Leadership, the creativeness of, and do what you want to, and do what you choose. You could be meeting somebody that's very much so like, do whatever you want. I don't care. This person's pretty laid back. They're relaxed. They're chill. They're not really tripping so much. Now they could be a little bit obsessive. Very sexual towards you, Leo. Your throat. Something about the throat. We have Moon and Leo reaching outward. The tighter you squeeze, the more that slips through your fingers. Keep an open palm with whoever you're dealing with. Your opposition to you is an air sign, Leo, so you know this. You can't grasp air. Try and hold air. Do it. You can hold air in your body. You can hold air in your orifice, but like in your hand. And you are dealing with the arm dock right now, meaning that this is a place for your arms to rest. Put your arms to rest. Put your at ease, right? Passion. Moon in Aries. Moon in Aries, again, the garden at the top of the world. That's this. This is that garden. This is the forefathers. This is the forefathers. The naked self, Selene in Leo. A lot of fire energy. We have every single sign of the fire that just came out here. We also have the sun with attraction. You're very okay with yourself, like flaws and all, you really accept yourself, right? Like veiled and voluptuous, right? Like you're okay with yourself. You love your flaws. You love the thing, like you're exalted for your flaws, right? When people see the things that are flaws on other people, you have a way of just pulling something off. No matter what you do, it's like you take the center of everyone's attention and you're praised for the things you do. From your family, from your friends. Now, there can be people that become jealous of you, but even the people that are jealous of you put you up on a pedestal. Even the people that create competition with you, all they do is just put you higher on your pedestal. People that try and go against you, or people that try and compete with you or go against you, it's just all they do is set you farther and farther and farther, higher and higher and higher on your pedestal. They make your stage presence bigger. Rahu power. But something to keep in mind, though, while you are the sun, I am Rahu. Meaning, even Rahu, when it eclipses the sun, could make you completely black. So you can be the sun, that's fine. But I'm Rahu, I'm only here for a short time. We also have Mars that just came out. Energize, confront, and force yourself to. something you need to force yourself to do. Force yourself to go towards this power. The power is returning to you. All the power you've put out to people, all the energies you've exerted towards people, it's all coming right back to you now. All the power you've invested in people, whether they were there to listen to you or not, it's all being returned to you tenfold right now. Tenfold. Let's get some tarot. Okay, I have an actual spread we're going to pull out. A lot of fire energy, Leo. You're fired the flip up right now. A lot of fire energy. I'm looking for the deck I want to use, sorry. Buy yourself some jewelry. Buy yourself something real with this reading. Buy yourself something real. Take yourself somewhere and buy yourself something real. Buy yourself that Chanel bag. Buy yourself that Louis Vuitton bag. Go buy yourself that. Go buy yourself that tennis necklace. You are the 10th nakshatra. Go buy yourself that tennis bracelet. Don't ask for permission, just do it. Go buy yourself that bag, those earrings, wherever you have it. Go buy yourself those shoes. Buy yourself that Gucci belt. Just do it. Don't ask for permission, just take it and do it. Go build that house. That chateau. Put yourself in fine jewels and fine clothes with fine fabrics, right? It's what you're meant to do. Stop asking permission. Start demanding obedience. Obviously with humility. Begin your day with a completed task. Help people through life, and they will help you in return. Respect everyone, but first you must respect yourself. Move forward in life. Move forward. Life is fair, even if you don't see it as fair now. Winning is not the purpose. Failing is not the fear. Expression of your truest self at all times is the only objective. Remain tactful. Calculate the risks you take before you take them. Don't just calculate the risks you take for you, but the risks for all involved, the whole world. Downface the bullies. Step up at the toughest times. Volunteer. Get involved. Offer yourself. When you fall, get right back up and help the downtrodden up if they have fallen as well. Never quit on yourself and always show up for yourself. It's a little bit different than what he said. I kind of changed it up a little bit just because I felt like it wasn't bad. I liked what he said, but there were some things that I would have changed, so I changed it. But it was similar. It's based off Admiral McRaven, the Navy SEAL. It's a pretty popular speech. He talks about making your bed. The first thing you do when you wake up is making your bed. So you start the day with a completed task. That was the only one I kept the same. Start the day with a completed task. Make your bed. So let's see. I have some questions that I'm going to send you on your way, Leo. I don't really know. I feel like you already know. What's your next victory? So, Leo. Your next victory. Strength. You are the victory. You are the victor. What are the obstacles before you get to this victory? The Two of Cups. How will you feel once you've achieved this victory? The Knight of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords. Who will be there with you and how will they feel? Five of Swords in reverse. We're going to break these down in a second. How will this change your life? The Knight of Wands in reverse with the Queen of Cups in the upright. And the Wheel of Fortune. Who is in this alignment? Who is in alignment with this next victory? The Chariot. What starts here changes the world. We have Strength coming up as the first card. You know, Leo, I think that you know, depending on how tapped into your Leo energy, whether you're a Leo sun, you absolutely know your strength, right? If you have a smaller planet, or if you're just beginning to work with the Leo energy, or if we're dealing with Leo transits and you're beginning to feel what true power feels like, right? That's the thing about, so we have Aquarius, which is technology in the world and where a lot of the world is currently at, where the entire age is at. It's very interesting because Aquarius is known as the person that pours from the pot, the water bearer. They pour from the pot into the kings. And the cool thing about having Rahu here is that it's the opposite of that. Meaning I take what the kings have inherited and I pour it back into the people. So I take that pot and all the things that the past monarchs have collected, the people of power above have collected, and I pour it back into the pot. I pour it back into Aquarius. I take all that power that was taken from the people, all the power that we have put into the kings, and I get to pour it back out into you all. Because the power of Regulus is so vast and intense and prominent, a lot of people will soak that energy up, or they will collect that energy, which is why K2 is there, which is the cup, meaning that the astrologer knows that they want the power of the star. Well, I have Rahu here, meaning that whether I like it or not, this is where I end up. And not only do I have Rahu here, but 3 degrees after that, I have Mars protecting me. Meaning it's really nothing to fuck with. I'm no one to fuck with, right? I'm closer to the star than Donald Trump is. And when he became president, the star lit up. It lit up, right? It's a change in the way that people view our power, right? The power of the star. And it is really about taking the power of the kings and giving it to the people and creating systems. And, you know, there's a lot more well-taught people than me. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm all powerful, because I'm not, but I think that Donald Trump, when he became president, he really is going to have this way of doing that very thing, of pouring the power back out to the people and creating this new lineage of Aquarius, of the people truly having the power and technology having the power, right? The days of the king is dead. And now it's like the power is being poured back out to all of us from past lifetimes and lineages. So you need to have the proper things set up in place for you so that when the wheel begins to turn, you're not the one stuck on the ground, in the ground. Hey, lady, stop doing that. She said, what? That's the message I have for you, Magha nakshatra. fun one. Like this one. I'm going to move on to the next sign. Oh, King Louis XIV. That's the person I chose. Or birthright, right? So like my 9th house, which is 5th from here. My D9 chart, I have the exact same moon placement as King Louis XIV had. The exact same Venus placement as King Louis XIV had. I have my D9 chart. I have my sun in Purva Falguni, and he has his sun in Uttara Falguni. So, I mean, I am a female, though, so that would make sense, but there's a lot of similarities there. He was the longest reigning king in France. Interesting guy. He built Versailles. And he had, like, some weird Uranus, like, Jupiter thing going on in Libra. I have the same thing, but it's in Taurus. In my D9 Navamsa chart. So that's all. That's all. The Fool is in reverse. Oh, another person that has her Mars and her Pluto here is Lori Davis. She's a cool person. I like her a lot. She's a great role model. She's a great role model. Coming from someone that didn't really have like the most prominent mother in my life. My dad kind of raised me himself. And my mom's not bad. She just kind of, I don't know. Anyways, that's all I got. Gotta go now. Bye. Be patient. I forgot to say, we pulled the Knight of Pentacles out. Be patient. Don't do things prematurely. Give things time to ripen before you cut the fruit off of the tree. Pretty much is what I'm saying. So be patient, be thorough, be diligent in your undertakings, right? Don't be rushed. You don't need it right now, right? Everything is fine right now. You're taken care of right now. It's going to come regardless. It's going to happen regardless. So, gotta go now. And you know, we didn't go into the astrology. I don't know. I'll put a picture of the actual astrology up right now so you can look at it and like just see what it is as the back. Hey, can you stop fucking biting yourself? Hey, can you stop that? She said we should have a snack, dude. Time for breakfast, dude. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and for meal breakfast, dude. You're so beautiful. She said, no, I'm not. I have to go now. Gotta go. Bye. Oh, yeah.